Okay, we're going to get started now, and people will join in as they come in. And so, welcome to this live session. Thank you, everybody, for being here. If you have any questions, please drop it in the chat. If you have any use cases as well of any problems that you have in your organization or in your workflow, on your operations, please drop it in the chat, and I will help build a live use case for that as we're going on. So, let's jump right in. So before we get started, I want to walk us through what we're going to be doing today. This is the agenda. They will have some introductions. We'll talk about Mind Studio. We'll talk about Begin Fusion. We'll talk about what is an AI worker. Then we'll have a live demo where we build the AI workers using the new Mind Studio workflow generator. Then we'll jump into some Q&A. Okay, so what is Mind Studio? I feel this is really important so that we set a precedent and foundation for people that are new to what Mind Studio is and what Mind Studio can do. So Mind Studio is a platform where you can build and deploy specialized AI workers. I'm going to get into what AI workers are in the next slide. And so Mind Studio is a platform you can use to build and deploy AI workers. And the beauty about it is you don't have to be technical to be able to use Mind Studio. And of course, if you're technical as well, developers too can also use Mind Studio. So it's built for everyone. You can build without writing any code, right? You can create workflows and create your AI workers without writing any code. You have access to 50 plus models that you can use from OpenAI, Claude, Llama, everything. So the beauty about it is you have access to 50 plus models that you can mix and match in your workflow as well. So you're not just restricted to one of the modules. Then, of course, you can connect different apps that you already have within your workflow, your workspace, and it gives you the opportunity to connect to different apps. And you can build your applications and run it and deploy it to the rest of your team, and everybody can use it as when they want to use it. You can also connect it to different services like Make, Zapier, and the like. So it gives you more access to connect to different tools, and you can have those things. So this is an example of a connection with Zapier, and it gives you more power to be able to do more with your existing tools. So a little bit about Begin Fusion. We are Mind Studio partner, so we are bringing this new workflow generator to audiences so that people know how powerful this is. We offer digital adoption and growth marketing services, and we help businesses with custom AI applications just like Mind Studio, right? So you can look us up later on. So now moving into what is an AI worker, right? And I got that question a couple of times while before we started doing this live session, right? So I answered the question, but I feel it's also important to answer that question here as well. There might be a little bit of lag, so just bear with me while it loads. I will try to keep up, slow down so that the lag can keep up with the live streaming. So AI workers are, just think of it like assistants that help you do anything you want to do within your organization, helps you with specific tasks using artificial intelligence. They help you with those repetitive tasks, data-driven, create tasks so that everybody saves time and saves effort, and you improve your efficiency and you're able to deliver more within your company. So this is an example of what an AI worker can do. Every morning, an AI worker would automatically collect court cases for publication by a newspaper and deliver it to you. This is an example. We're going to be building this live here. An example of what an AI worker can do. It will find, summarize, and email daily tech news at a specific time as well. And this is just a sample of the delivery of the successful completion of the work the AI worker has done. It can send an email to you, send a Slack notification, depending on how you want it. So this is just an example of what it can do. So what we are going to be looking at today for our live demo, we're going to look at things that are called Explorer. I'm going to go into that later on. Errors, debugger, system prompt, automation, model settings, evaluation, profiler, and app settings. So let's go ahead and try to build a tech news creator. While this is going on, you can drop any comments or questions you have in the chat, and I will do my best to get to the chat and answer those questions, anything anybody has. Awesome. I see you, Danielle. Okay, so we're in the Mind Studio platform right now. So I created this other workspace. So this is what it will look like when you come into Mind Studio as a new user, right? And you have different resources here that can help you as well get started. From learning about getting started with Mind Studio, building your first AI worker. That is what we're going to do today using the workflow generator, how to connect to Zapier, how to use the Mind Studio API. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to build a AI worker. So the first thing you want to do is click on create AI worker. Yeah. Okay, Patrick. Yeah, definitely. I could do something else. Okay. A new project and just give it some time to load. So there are a bit of instructions here to guide you on how to create an AI worker, right? Very key thing is use natural language to describe exactly what you want the AI worker to do. More details you include, the better output it will be. You can click on any examples below. So these are the examples below. Quick different examples that you can use for that. So let's start with creating a very simple one. Yeah. So yeah, Patrick, I'm going to create something else, right? But this is just something that's easy to do so people can follow along. So you go ahead and you click on build. So it's going to take about a minute to generate what is called a workflow scaffold, which is like a framework of what your AI is going to do. It will show you the high level plan, it will show you the proposal, it will show you the workflow of how it's going to be. Then you can either accept it or reject it. So let's just give it a couple seconds to load. Yeah, Patrick, go ahead. Drop your ideas. Diane, your question is, would you be able to recreate these types of AI workers with Make? So you can use Mind Studio with Make as well. So you can, when you go into Make, you can run a workflow that has already been created in Mind Studio. So let me just quickly show what that would look like. So this is Make, right? You can set up your Mind Studio to run a particular app that you have already built in your Mind Studio platform. You can decide to send it somewhere else to your Google Drive or anything you want to do with it. You know, send something to your Gmail, send something to Notion, what have you. So you can definitely use it with Okay, there was a lag there, right? So yeah, this is the screen I was while I was talking. This is the screen I was referring to. So within Make, there's an integration between Make and Mind Studio. So you can use Make and Mind Studio to make sure that your automation is more enhanced than normal, right? So Make and Mind Studio works hand in hand to make you more efficient. So anything you create in your Mind Studio, right? Depending on the apps you create, you can put it in Make and run it there as well. Then I'm going to also show you something when we create our app. So this is correct, yes, correct. So this is the next screen that you would see after you describe what AI worker you want to use you want to create rather with your workflow generator. So over here, it's divided into two different screens. So to the left is your workflow architecture, right? And it shows you a high level about the AI worker from the system prompt to the workflow steps to the different variables, custom functions, specific nodes, and other requirements. Then over here shows you the proposal of what the AI worker is going to do specific. Then it gives you a summary of the automation steps. So from the start, it will get the current date, it will script this particular website, TechCrunch, to script this one, analyze new content, format the summary, display final content, and end. So once you go through all of this, right, and you like what you see, you can go ahead and click on accept and build. But if you do not like it and you want to change something, then you click on reject. So because of this, we're just going to go ahead and click on accept and build. Then again, it's going to start running the prompt to build it, and it shows you that what is currently doing right now. So you can see it's generating system prompt, generating JavaScript function. So we'll just give it a couple of seconds to load. And let me see if we have any more questions. Okay, Patrick has something. I was thinking of a workflow for content creators. You're proposing one piece of original content to fit all other platforms, reposting in appropriate platforms. The flow goes like this. Okay, I think your comment cut out there. Let me see if I can pull it out while we're waiting for this to load out completely. Okay, so this is the workflow generation that has been completed, and you get a prompt here that tells you that it has been completed. So I'm going to walk us through a couple of things on this screen right now so that we get an idea how to go about it. So first, it describes what the AI worker is, and it's called an assistant within Mind Studio. So it says an assistant is an expert technology journalist and analyst, blah, blah, blah. It shows you the role and the purpose, the story selection criteria, summary guidelines, the output, formatted summary, and processing instructions. So this is awesome, right? And if there's any need you want to enhance this thing, you can go ahead and click here and it will automatically enhance this prompt. Then if you have something that you want to add to it as well, you can just come under something and say add an image or whatever it is you want it to do, right? So you can customize it accordingly, the role and purpose. So you can do anything you want to do right here. So this is the system prompt. So let's move over to a tab that is called automation. So automation shows how the workflow is going to run from start to finish, right? So you have all these blocks from the start to the terminator block, which is the end block. Then you have everything in between. So from the start, it shows you that, okay, it's going to run on a schedule, right? So if you look at this, this is a schedule where it's going to run. And of course, you can edit the schedule, change the time zone and whatnot to fit whatever it is you're looking to do. You can also run it on demand as well if you don't want it to run on a schedule. And you have different launch variables that you can use if you want it to run using an API, right? But for the purpose of this, let's not worry about all those other things. Then if we go into the next block, I'm just going to hold up because I see that there's a lag. Okay, so if you go into the next block, you can see what that block is to the right. So it says the run function, it will get current date. So there's something about functions that My Studio has that is awesome, right? You have community functions that you can copy from. So if you have any function that you are looking for, you can come here and search for those functions. So if you are building an AI worker that does a basic search on Google, for example, or you want it to get some videos on YouTube, or you want it to get stock news, you can just come here and select it and import it into your existing function, right? And it works for you. But for that, we're just going to select get current date. So that's something that you can use. Then if you go to the next block, it shows you that the details of that block, you can script, it's going to script this URL. It's going to use a default provider to do that. Otherwise, you can select another provider that is Firecrawl, and you have more information about the Firecrawl and options. But for this, we're just going to leave it at default. Same thing for the Verge. Then it will now show you how it's going to display the formatted summary, and you see different options as well. Analyze this content, script wire, then it ends by sending an email notification to the user. So if you look at the top of the page, you can see that there is a notification right there that is saying that we have an error within our automation, right? So what we want to do is click on that button there and come into the section under errors. And when we're under there, it will give us more information about the error. So it says variable JSON stop stories is referenced but doesn't exist. So we want to come in here and just try to fix that error. So if we do this, the error is gone, and now we have a clean workflow that we can test. So two ways: we can run it in debugger to test it, or we can do preview draft. So let's do a preview draft and see how it works. So yes, Dian, you mentioned make, right? I was going to bring this up when we got to this screen. So for the different integration guidelines that we currently have within Mind Studio, you have a workflow, a tutorial rather, that shows you how to connect your Zapier, your Make within to your Mind Studio. So it has all these steps, and you can just go through these steps and follow through it, and you'll be able to connect your Mind Studio application to Make. It just makes it easy. Right, so let's do a new run. We'll do it manually because we're trying to test it out. Okay, Patrick. Okay, I think I've seen what you have right now. Okay. Thank you for dropping that in, by the way. So this is the end result of our AI worker that creates news for us from Google and drops it every month. So at the back of this, it will also send an email to the user if that's the notification that you selected as well. So now that we know that our AI worker is working because we just tested it, we can now go ahead and publish. So it gives you the notification that your AI worker has been published. So you can go ahead and open that AI worker as well. Then if you go back to your workspace, you can see your AI worker that has been generated within your workspace. Then you can decide to share it with people as well. So if I want to share this with somebody, I could come here and click on copy remix URL. I can share this with somebody, and the person would be able to create. This is what they would see when they get the copy of the URL. So when they come here, they can make a copy of it and start using it within their own workflow in Mind Studio as well. So this is for people externally. If you want to share it with people within your organization, you come here and select it, and you would choose either you send an email, send an email to them to invite them, or you copy the link, and you can restrict access to how they use it. Either you give them edit access or you give them use only access. So this is how you invite your team to use Mind Studio within your organization. All right, let's do another one. Okay, Patrick, let me see if I can copy out your... Okay, let me find that comment from Patrick. Yeah, Patrick, it's just that streaming quality, right? I'm trying to slow down on the streaming so that you can catch up with the screens as it's changing. So as to content creator, so Patrick, I'm going to try to do yours right now. So content creator, query proposing original content. So look for original content on the website. At this point, we can impute that website here. So I'm just going to use a website here. Edit and refine. So since the content on the website is most likely going to be a new blog post, right? So I would say edit it and refine for social media create images for IG and LinkedIn post. Then create a script for a TikTok 1 minute video and YouTube shorts. And a longer script for a podcast. Okay, there's still opportunity to be more detailed here, but let's just go ahead and build and see what it comes up with. So again, it will bring up this screen for generating the workflow scaffold. The scaffold is just a framework of what the AI worker is going to be able to do as well. So let's just wait for it while I see if there are any more comments or questions. So let's see what it will do. It's creating the automation, still working. If you have any other questions or if you have any other ideas of what you want me to build live right now, you can go ahead and drop it in the chat and we'll take a look at it after this one completes. And if you don't already have an account, please go ahead on mindstudio.ai and create an account, and so that you can test this out for yourself as well. And if you also need help in doing something more detailed, we can help you as well. So yes, we have the overview of what that AI worker is going to be. So let's just go through it. It's calling it a content repurposing automation plan, manual invocation with user input from the Begin Fusion URL. Since the content is a proposition tool, blah, blah, blah. This is going to be the system prompt. So maintaining your brand voice and messaging consistency, platform-specific content adaptation. So these are the different variables. So the source URL is going to be the blog. The page is going to, this is the string, this is the content analysis. So this is everything is going to be. Then we also have here where it shows it's going to create images and PDF generations and custom functions. Then you can see the specific requirements that it's using as well. So for TikTok, it's doing 150 words. Then for podcast scripts, it's doing 750 to 1,500 words. So if we jump in here, we can expand and see more details about it on this side for the proposal. Then it gives us a note here and says that external dependencies required. So you should just put this in mind that some things are going to be done externally. So this is just a snapshot of the workflow. So from start, it will validate the URL, it will show any error message, if any, script the blog for the content, analyze the content, generate LinkedIn content, generate Instagram content, TikTok script, podcast script, LinkedIn images, IG images, display results, and end. So let's go ahead and create. So we are going to accept and build right now since everything is looking good. So again, you can see the different options here or notifications for generating system prompt, Java function, asset template. So it just shows you what is being done on the back end. So let's just give that a couple of more seconds to complete. So MindStudio can be used for different use cases, from HR to sales to marketing to finance. So the way we go about it is we try to identify a problem within a client's business or operations, right? So we'll use that problem and use AI and MindStudio to solve that problem. So if you have any problem with, let's say, recruitment, where you want to evaluate candidates and make that process more seamless, then we can build an AI worker that would help within that scope. So from your recruitment automation to setting your KPIs and your goals management, employees wellness and well-being automation, creating a chatbot where your teams internally can chat with that in case they want to find out things about Mind Studio. Sweet tunes, yeah. Just something to get us by while we are. Um, there's an error. Let's try that again while we are waiting for this to load. So while this is going on, I can go and also try to create something else as well. So create AI worker, and I have a prompt here for employee wellness and well-being automation. So I'll go ahead and click on build while we're waiting for this other one to generate as well. Then just to show you a couple of things that has been done. So this is an example of while we're waiting for that to happen, this is an example of a PDF that was generated from Mind Studio. It will check for things and it can show you a PDF. So again, if you are wanting a PDF for any type of content and even for your carousels on, don't worry, Patrick. You know, sometimes those things happen, but we just got to refresh and try again, right? So this is an example of something that was generated using Mind Studio, the final output of the document. Then while that is loading, just walk us through the behind the scenes of your AI worker. So you can come here and change the name, change the description, change the API function name. You have different settings that you have access to as well. You can change the icon for your app icon or social media sharing. You can also change the branding as well. If you don't want any Mind Studio branding, you can disable that. You can make it minimal. Then you can change the different colors and text colors to suit your brand and your brand guidelines and whatnot. Over here, you can set a usage limit of the different AI workers you create. So it can be monthly user budget or a monthly worker budget. Then for sharing, you can allow people to remix what you created by enabling this. Then if you also want to add additional security to it as well, you can add a password and make it password protected. This is a sample of what it looks like when you share it socially. Then you can embed it as well. So if you want it to be embedded, you enable that option. Then it gives you the code. Then you can also put the website that you want. So you can say this, and this will be the website where it will be able to be embedded. Then we copy the code, then jump into your website and embed that over there. Then if you have more than one workspace, so the use case for this is you have different teams within your organization working on different things. So you can have the finance team, you can have the sales team, you can have the marketing team. So you can create different workspaces in here. So if you have a workspace for finance, you have a workspace for sales or marketing, then if you build an AI worker, you can transfer that to a different workspace as well, so that it is only for that particular team within that workspace. Then it gives you a history of different things that has happened with your AI worker. Then you have different global variables are available that you can create and whatnot. So this is just behind the scene. Then also here, you can add data that you currently use within your company. So it can be a personalized data, let's say your company's brand guidelines or your policy. You can add that data here. You can create new functions. You can create new user inputs to enhance the function of your AI worker. Let's jump back into this. Patrick, we're still having an error on your prompt. So I think Patrick is your prompt. I'm not blaming you though, but the other one I created was the employee wellness and check-in system, right? So this is a HR tool that you can use to check on employees. So again, the workflow architecture gives us an overview, the system prompt, the workflow steps, variables, generated assets, PDF reports, custom functions, then specific notes as well. Then over here just gives us what the user input is going to be, employee ID, current stress level, physical activity. Then again, this is the workflow steps. So from start to end, to collect employee information, do a wellness survey, format survey results, analyze survey results, generate wellness trend charts, and store historical data and generate PDF prompt. Okay, so let's go ahead and accept and build. So another thing I would also want to show is your model settings. So this is something that is really awesome, right? Here you can choose different types of models from Amazon, Cohere, Google, Meta, OpenAI. So depending on what you want to do, you can decide to choose the AI module that you want to use that suits what you want to do. And you can see what it's going to cost you to run those different modules just next to it. Then if you click on it, it gives you more detailed description about that module if it's something you're not currently familiar with, right? So it shows you the last date, the date it was added, the training date, the cost of the prompts per 1,000 tokens, so prompt and response and maximum output as well. So it depends on whatever you're trying to do. You can mix and match different AI modules here. Very, very useful. Let's jump back into, okay, still creating. Let me refresh this while we're waiting for the other one. Okay, Patrick said, let's start with an easy one. Just refine the written and generate images. Okay. Okay. While we're waiting for this, let me just try and pull up some other ones that we already did before that we can use to just show people what it's all about. So this is an AI worker as well that was created. So when you come here as well, and I think Patrick, this is going to also help since we're talking about content creation as well. But this is a content and calendar planner that would help businesses create content or content calendar for years. So for example, we're going into 2025 and businesses want to create content for the whole year, content calendar. So you can come here and say, what's the target audience? You can say non-profit. what kind of content teams you want to do. Okay, we want to do case studies, and we want to do how-to guides. And what type of content would you want to create? Blog posts, newsletters. Let's just keep it simple. How often do you want to publish content? Let's say we want to do it weekly. Again, keeping it simple. Then if there's any important dates, so we say um, New Year's Day, uh, Canada Day. So we click on next. So while this is going on, let's go back to our awareness. Okay, it's still generating. Okay, let me look at. Okay, yeah, turn that off for now. Okay, I'm reading your new message, Patrick. Frank contacted the original written draft, publish it in a blog post, short-term videos. Okay, I'll try and simplify that even further, right? Okay, so this is done, right? So this is the completed output for our content generator. So for this, is an example of an AI worker that can be used by marketing teams, right? So you can deploy this for your marketing teams and help them create content as much as possible. Okay, let's go back to this. Okay, so our workplace wellness advisor is done, and that's the name he generated for it as well. So this is the system prompt. This is the assistant. Again, within my studio, the AI worker is called an assistant. Of course, that's what they should be. And it shows you what the framework is, the response, the recommended framework, trend analysis parameters, output, and integration. So if you come over here to the automation, again, it shows you how it's going to be and how it's going to run. So from your start to the end. So the first thing it's going to do is collect the employee information. Then it will run the survey. It will bring out different results. It will generate the PDF. To show you the historical data. To generate the trend to analyze the results, then display the results as well. So again, model settings, you can decide to change the AI model that you are currently using. It usually defaults to Claude 3.5 Haiku. So you can decide to fix it up. Something I wanted to show here was the data sources. So you can add data sources from your organization. So if there's any policy, so if this is something related to HR, yeah. So if you have a HR policy, you can add that here. Just label it, then upload the file accordingly, and it would be in there as your custom data source that your AI worker is going to reference and refer to when it's trying to respond to different users as well. And again, we have those three error messages that we're getting here. So we can go in there. It shows us what that thing is here. Go in there and fix it. It disappears. And yeah, when that is done, we're almost out of time. But I guess this really shows how. Yes, Dion, there's going to be a recording of the live stream. And yes, it's going to be available to everybody that registered to attend the live stream. And we'll post it on social media, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So, yeah, this is how you build AI workers on Mind Studio. Simple, straight to the point, very powerful, very helpful. You don't need to know how to code. And if you need any further help or assistance on this, you can reach out to me. Company, we run helps. We're partners with My Studio, and we help businesses try to build AI workers as well. So this is just showing what the wellness advisor is going to be. So again, this is something that companies can deploy within their organizations across all teams in this instance to gauge employees' wellness, workplace wellness, and whatnot. So this is just an example of different things that we can do. So minimal stress, moderate balance, really part-time, and again, these things can be customized to suit any company's workflow and need, right? And you can connect it via APIs, Zapier Make, and whatnot. You can share this to different people, and they can remix it and make it their own as well. So, yes. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, all right, confidence. Yes, yeah, you should definitely rewatch it. Then, of course, anybody that needs any more clarity on this, you could jump into my DM. I have my contact details on the screen right now. Send an email, visit the website, or you can go ahead and create a My Studio account and just start practicing with it. Patrick, send me a DM or send me an email. I can answer the questions offline because like we're already out of time right now. I'm happy to answer your questions most definitely. Yeah, Dion, yes. That I have a particular Mind Studio workflow that I use to pull things related to stock, right? So yes, definitely you can do this. It will pull those the information every day. So it would scrape if you have particular websites that you have, you can scrape those different websites and send you an email or notification on Slack or something. Yeah. So I'm happy to get into that with you. So if you can send me an email or a DM on LinkedIn, I'm happy to get into that. So um, Patrick, yes, thank you very much for the questions and being engaged. So thank you everybody for coming to this. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a pleasure doing this walkthrough. So until next time, stay frosty.